Garrett Blevins here with the second day of vacation training. This was at Mammoth Strength, up in Mammoth itself. You can kind of get the panorama. It's beautiful up there, just mountains and lakes and hiking and fishing and all sorts of good stuff. So this is kind of off to the side. This is the inside here. They got some dumbbells. They got some kettlebells. Not too much. They really didn't have a lot of metal plates. You just see a few there, loose ones. But their dumbbell selection was pretty good, which was a nice thing to know. Then obviously they've got some bumper plates. It's a little bit more set up for CrossFit type stuff. They've got some clips, jump stretch bands, chalk, some kind of MMA training, one glute ham bench, which is still better than where I work out. Wish I had one of those. And then a bunch of Rogue equipment as well. More of these Rogue bars. I think they were all the 20 kilogram version instead of the 45 pound. Not that it makes a huge difference. But that's pretty much what the setup was there. There you see they got the racks and some benches and other equipment. Now on this day, I have bench press, rows, followed by close grip bench press, followed by 2 AMRAPs at 9 RPE with chin-ups. On this day, the weight was moving really well. I really enjoy this day. It's still a pretty good building day. Most of it is percent based, but the weights on this day just felt really good. Probably could have done at least a set of 10, maybe with 355. Weight was really moving well, jumping out of my hands at the top of the lift, which did make it actually a little bit harder to lock out just because there was so much kind of jiggle in the bar. Sometimes that will really bug my elbows if I go all the way to lockout. So I did 4 sets, only recorded a couple. Also did 4 sets of rows here. You'll notice that my rows are fairly upright. I do target kind of my upper back, and if you think about my squat angle, that's kind of the same angle of my back that I'm trying to recreate so that I'm really pulling back the most and kind of using my lats with that upper back more than with my bench press specifically. If I wanted to hit the middle back a little more, I would do something like seal rows, which are programmed in as well, where you just lay flat on a bench and you kind of do the same bar path that you see here with my arms, except flipped over the other way with dumbbells, so you're hitting the back side of the benching muscles. In any case, this is an easier day because there's no lower body component with squatting or deadlifting, but it really facilitates recovery. And as you'll see in some of my future training that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks, the percentages are going to really ramp up on those lower body workouts at the beginning and end of the week. And so I'm going to need this day for recovery purposes to be prepared for those other days, since the intensities I think get up somewhere 82-83% for multiple sets of 5. That's going to be a taxing week, but we'll see how it goes. Was a little weird having these like really long giant bumpers. This is 2 45s and a 35, and then I think a 25 and a 5. I'm not 100%. But yeah, it was a little bit different than what I was used to, but the weight still moved really well even with close grip. The next part is a little bit of a follow-up to my last video. I talked about how James talks about justification by works. But James goes on to talk about how those works are done. That they are deeds done in humility that come from wisdom, not harboring bitter envy or selfish ambition. This means that the works, which are the fruit or the result of a person's faith, they're not done by people so that they can brag about it or tell you how they're better than you or how they deserve by their works to go to heaven and you're going to hell. That's not at all what this is about. Christians and James himself believed that people were given forgiveness because of what Christ did. Their works, which are done in humility, accepting that free gift of salvation based on Jesus' work, those works are done not to earn anything, but as evidence that one has accepted Jesus as Lord and Savior. People's good works don't earn them their salvation. They're simply evidence that they have received the gift and the gospel of Jesus Christ. In any case, if you guys have any thoughts on that, I know we kind of had a little bit of debate and some back and forth on the last video. Feel free to put any stuff in the comments below. I'll get to it as best I can with the time I have. But I do want to follow up to this video with my next one and talk a little bit about when doing those good works or living our life, how we're supposed to do it, and the difference between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. In any case, hope wherever you're at, you all are doing well. Blessings.